What is good, everyone? I am DJ Whippopatomus, and you are listening to WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. We are a student-run nonprofit radio station based out of North Carolina State University. Here with me today are the co-hosts of the Very Wack Show.
Let's go!
A podcast that covers both the national and hip-hop local scenes. What's good with y'all? How you doing?
Good.
It's amazing to be back.
So good.
It's amazing to be back here.
Can't complain.
Real quick, could each of you introduce yourselves, let people know where you're from and what else you do besides podcasts?
Look at SK grabbed the mic. He's like, I'm going to do it. Go ahead.
Me? It's me first. I am SK the Novelist. I grew up in Asheville, North Carolina. In 1995, I was born. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. NC State alumni, WKNC alumni, old stomping grounds. I'm very honored and nostalgic to be back in the
Mover and
spot.
shaker out here. Come on. Don't be
Have y'all
shy.
back.
Yeah.
Former hip-hop music director. Come on.
Yeah, man. Well, okay, all those. Yeah. Music
Legends.
director, underground. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
We're in the presence of legends.
Something like that.
Not to be humble like that. Well, I'm going? Okay, I guess I'm the one talking all the mess. DJ Iron Mike, you know what it is. Also known as Charles Morris on the journalistic tip.
Yeah.
Former underground music director over here at WKNC. Used to work with my man SK over here. Also DJ for Juice Lord. If anybody recognizes my voice, I was interviewing with Juice Lord a couple months ago.
Yeah.
A fun time.
Dang, they let you back in here for that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
It
Was
was
this
like
a
a
couple
warm-up
months
to
ago?
this.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lit.
Dang. That's what's up.
Who's next?
Cool. I'm Cosmo. I'm a producer, a former NC State alumni from Chapel Hill originally. Yeah.
Very cool. I am Lord D-Rock. Yeah. Yeah.
I hate you so
I am
much.
a rapper. I am a local rapper from Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah. That's about it. That's all you
Queen
need to know
City.
about me.
So you play it down, like you talk so much crap.
I
in
don't
the
know
group
why
text.
I started sweating as soon as you
less
started
is
talking.
more. Less
This is
more.
dope.
So this is basically like a warm up because our season, we're gonna start recording our season
Okay.
premiere this week,
Hell yeah.
and this is like our little warm up. So thanks for having us up here, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm real excited to have
And
y'all.
Jamie, shout outs to Jamie.
Yeah. Shout out
the
to
back
Jamie in
over
the
there.
back. Everyone at WKNC is going to be jealous now. Jamie
course.
doesn't show her face in many interviews, so I'm honored.
I mean, celebrities in the building. You know what I mean?
For
It's
real.
boss talk. You gotta-
That's how you know. That's how we know we got legends.
we almost had the full boss roster because my daughter almost came with us.
Word,
so,
yeah.
But she was sick, so.
No, this is a lot of fun. I've actually listened to every episode of your podcast so far, and
Really?
like,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Oh,
I feel
wow.
like I'm
Thank
in
you,
it.
man. That
Yeah, of
means a lot.
course. It's
Appreciate you for
fun.
that.
It's a whole lot of fun listening.
We're at that phase of like every listener counts. So.
Yeah, no, I feel it. I
We'll
feel
take
it.
it.
Yeah.
Honestly, same here.
You can tell. You can tell by the surprise in my voice.
Every
Whoa.
episode.
You actually like what we do?
It's cool being with you. I feel like I'm on the podcast right now.
Oh yeah,
Y'all just bring the
anytime
energy
you want to come
off
through,
back.
man, you know,
We should
WKNC
return-
love. We show the love.
We should
man. And
return
you-
the favor, man.
Oh
That'd be
man,
fun.
that would be dope.
And
It'd be
we
dope
rock
to be
with
on the
what
other
you do.
side.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, I was telling SK about all the stuff you do because we really respect the fact that you're out here, like in the community.
Yeah,
Like a lot of
yeah.
people come through to WKNC and they're just students and they just want to be around indie music and that's cool. But like you go the extra mile to actually be a part of the community. So we respect that. That's
Hey,
that's why we're
that's
here. man.
love.
So-
I really appreciate that for real. Yeah, I'm trying. You know. But yeah, let's get into your podcast, the Very Wack Show.
That's right.
How long have you been doing the podcast? When did it start?
One season. I don't know what time like
I
that
think
equals.
so. Officially, we were going to launch on another radio network that SK knows.
Oh, for real?
Probably would have been like about a year and a half ago at this point.
Yeah, we were. My homies from Asheville have a nonprofit radio station out there as well.
Oh, word.
And we were
That's
kinda
interesting.
in the works, but it was more in a startup phase at the time. and
Yeah,
we wanted
yeah.
to kind of get the ball rolling for us, so
Yeah.
we just kind of rolled it out in a more independent way, see where
feel
we
it.
could get our feet going this way.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
In an unofficial capacity, probably a year and a half. In
Yeah,
an
something
official
like that.
capacity,
Yeah.
probably
We
9 months.
recorded a ton of content
that we never.
and then that we
yeah.
never got
Yeah.
aired or anything because like stuff on the admin side at that startup station just wasn't coming together that quickly.
Yeah, I hear that.
And so we were just kind of like, we got our like chemistry together. Like we got into a good flow and had a bunch of content recorded and just nothing really happened. So we were just like, all right, you know what? Screw it. Like this is fun. We love doing it. It's something to do. Get us out of the house.
Facts.
And it, honestly for me, it was like I hadn't hung out with D-Rock in years.
Literally.
So yeah. And so like it was really good. We used to hang out all the time when I went to state. And so it was like a reunion of sorts.
Right.
It was like, we got to keep doing this.
Yeah. So which one of y'all went to state? It was
all of us.
All of us.
Literally
Yeah.
all of
Four.
us.
Okay. I thought there was one that didn't. That's lit.
Nah. We
Hell
all
yeah.
did.
Y'all mind if I ask what y'all studied?
Yeah, I did entrepreneurship with arts entrepreneurship. As
Yes.
a minor. Shout out Beckman.
Yeah.
I think you did you comment?
I
at
just
Beckman's?
did. Yeah, I'm in his class right now.
He commented Beckman would be proud on one of my posts.
That
earlier.
video you had
Early
was
context.
clean, bro. Like
Thank you,
that's
man.
like
Yeah.
exactly what he preaches.
Yeah. No, Beckman is probably one of the most valuable teachers I had.
Honestly,
all my
shout out
life.
Dr. B real quick.
We're all from the Church of Beckman, man. Like,
Yeah.
I told him actually yesterday. I told him that y'all mentioned him in your podcast, and he was really excited.
That's
Like,
what's
yeah,
up.
He
I
had
gotta hit
nothing
him
but
up,
love
man.
to say. Yeah,
That's what's up.
about both of y'all.
Yeah, we got to send that his way. I don't
Yeah,
think
For
ever
real,
did. Yeah.
we
For
need
sure.
to have Beckman in here.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
real.
it is.
That's a good idea. Damn.
More legends.
You got some game for real.
You're not lying. You're not lying. That's funny.
So
Well, D-Rock, what'd you study?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, my bad.
it's kind of like repetitive. I feel we were all
all
arts
did.
entrepreneurship, right?
That was our minors, yeah.
I was entrepreneurship major, and I think me,
oh okay.
SK, and Cosmo. That's
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I left. I went to go IT, but I was
Oh
an
yeah, that's
entrepreneurship
right.
major.
That's right.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I did PR,
Yeah.
So-
All right.
communications.
That's what's
So
up.
can't get away from it.
So how did y'all come up with the name for your podcast, The Very Wack Show?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was I did I come up with it?
I think
I
you
don't,
I
I
did.
don't
know. Do can I credit myself for that? Because I'm pretty sure I came up with it.
Sure, you can take that. Yeah,
If
yeah.
nobody's claimed it, whoever called it
Okay,
first.
I remember I wanted it to be something about just like terrible takes, because one of us is known for having a lot of those.
Bad Take King.
And,
yeah.
Wonder who that is.
and that was kind of like a central idea for the show, was just to like air out a bunch of really dumb stuff.
It's
SK stands for Take King.
that's
amongst
true. I have
other
no
things.
rebuttal. I wasn't prepared for a rebuttal, so I'll eat that. Yeah, that's true. No, I think we were doing the thing where you come up with a bunch of words that associate with what you want the show to mean, right? Didn't we do something like that? And
What, like a team building exercise?
something like that. You know,
I
yeah.
don't think so.
But we
I do not remember that. I think,
not like
I think you did that at
officially.
your job.
We didn't have like a
Did we do like
psychology
trust falls
sit-down.
afterwards or something
Yeah.
like that?
Oh, but didn't we threw out a bunch of bad, no good, whack, and then we landed on that. We were
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna run with that.
I like
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was something like that. I don't know.
No, I mean it sounds really good. Like I said, like it's a whole lot of fun listening to y'all, even when y'all don't have guests. But y'all have some really cool guests too, and they provide a lot of valuable insights. I feel like. Into
Yeah, that's the thing.
scene.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, not to toot my own horn.
No, do it.
Or our own horn. But like me and SK, like we've been like working for WKNC. Like we've been in the community for a while.
Yeah.
And we've made some really good friendships and connections with people. And I feel like what we've never been on there's a lot of like janky promoters out there and like
Right.
people that are looking to
Y'all
take
seen it
advantage of
as
artists.
the
And I feel like,
directors.
yeah, exactly.
Those emails.
Exactly. And like I know, and I think I could say the same thing for SK. We always made a point of like not being like that and just like trying to like really build relationships.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we try to bring into the podcast of just like organic, just like chilling with people. I'd rather like hang out with an artist. When I was interviewing artists here, I always felt like it was better to just like get a vibe with people than to just like ask them like a billion questions. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna get asked anyway,
Yeah.
at any other place. So, we try to bring that spirit into the podcast.
I feel that. Yeah.
Kind of free form,
I also think like the pandemic just slowing down like shows, the ability
Mhm.
for people to go out and like throw shows and
Yeah.
book shows. Like I feel like a lot of people had a creative kind of gap for a while there, and I know I did at least.
Yeah,
but
you
being
had
able
to
to get with like my
release that.
guys and do that, and then extend that, to other people who may be going through the same kind of creative, hold up, and it was cool to use our network to kind of one hand washes the other in that regard.
Facts.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that just goes to show how far relationships can take you in this industry, honestly.
For sure.
I think it'll take you the furthest, right? That's probably the most important thing. Networking.
Maybe.
For real.
Relationship building.
For real.
And extortion.
Facts. No, that's real. So yeah, how would y'all describe the show? I kind of gave a little summary, but how would y'all put it in your words?
I feel like the show is topically about rap, but at the end of the day, it's just a combination of like all of our personalities. Where we all live in the same space, but we all do slightly different things, right? So like Cosmo's a producer for the most part, right? I'm kind of like a producer rapper, SK raps, Charles DJs, and we all have our own different relationships with the people we have on the podcast.
Right.
And we all have just like wildly different takes on things.
Yeah.
We have people who just will stand Drake so hard.
Insane for no reason.
Right?
Who is this guy?
I feel it.
I forgot his name.
I feel it.
But honestly, I feel like the biggest piece of it just started from SK and his takes, on Facebook, making crazy, wild takes that the comment sections just get so fiery.
That's right.
With
That was
just
SK.
going back and forth. It still happens to this day. That's what's keeping the cast alive.
Not as much, but you ever see the Facebook memories that pop up from like the year prior? And you're like, ooh, I really shouldn't have said that. And then you click who liked it or interacted, and there's like add friend is at like the bottom of it. It's like, dang. I always wonder which take it was that made them pull the trigger. And
That brings me back to, I forget what episode it was, but y'all were talking about when y'all were at WKNC, someone interviewed someone, and SK was like, I'll slap the bald off your face or something like that.
Oh, that was D-Rock, actually. That was
Oh, yeah, it wasn't an interview. It was
yeah.
But,
So you put it out there, so you can put it out again.
It was Smack, right?
It was Smack. It was Smack. So Smack, for people who don't know, runs the biggest rap league in the world, the battle rap league, right?
Yeah.
And SK posted a picture with Smack. And I've been known to be an internet troll. Like, SK is unintentionally a troll. Like, he just posts takes. I'm more an intentional troll.
So I have like bad takes. He has like malicious takes. There's malice there. Evil. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, but I posted.
I love it.
I don't know what the first sentence was, but I said I ought to smack the sunglasses off of his bald head because he's bald. And there was nothing behind that whatsoever, but like people were responding like, "What are you talking about?" Like, that's a crazy thing to say, But yeah.
So of course we started a podcast.
Yeah. That's what I knew.
Here we are.
Yeah, we
Let's
had
show up
harness that energy.
to the next South by Southwest and see who actually pays attention to the comments.
Yeah.
Just put D-Rock in the middle of the press room.
Need extra security.
I don't think there'll be enough.
How wild would that be though? Like, because Anderson, another WKNC alum, is like doing his thing in URL. So how wild would it be if we all went to a URL event and Smack was like, "You're that dude."
Dude, so they always say that, but here's my thing. He runs a rap battle league, right?
True.
Where literally people get paid to say terrible, terrible things about him. I highly doubt that his $100 and whatever $1 million worth of whatever, he's that concerned about.
But
my
that's
team.
like
appreciate
that would be like the very Wack, like the very Wack remix of like Curb Your Enthusiasm. We're like, that's the one that really got him.
That's what you think.
Like, that's
It's
the
what you
one
show
that
up.
really got him.
He's like, "Hey man, come over here
Derek
for a quick
Armour,
second.
huh?
Come over here for a quick second." I'm like, "Huh? What's
Smack
up, man?"
the glasses off my bald head, huh?
Do it.
It's good. I'm right here, B.
I mean, he might appreciate it. He might even appreciate it. Who knows? He might hit you up like, "Hey man, let's do a podcast."
Like Anderson couldn't get himself canceled and kicked off of URLs, but you will be.
Yeah,
the
but
one.
Anderson's career is over once he finds out me and Anderson are friends.
Yeah.
What is URL?
Ultimate Rap League, right?
Ultimate Rap League. Yeah.
Is that what I saw on your Instagram? The
Uh,
battle rap?
So you might have seen clips from of me battling. That was on
Yeah.
a league called iBattle,
Oh,
which is
okay.
also similarly out of New York. And a
Word.
lot of their guys end up going on URL, which is
Okay.
cool. If I had to compare it, URL is probably like the NBA of it all. And then everything
Word,
below
okay.
is kind of like working up to that.
Yeah.
So. And our good buddy Anderson, who is alumni at WKNC, just got his first like main stage battle.
Hell yeah.
On there, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love to hear
Quick
that.
footnote on that though.
Yeah.
There's a little piece of trivia. SK is actually very popular in the URL community.
I am
amongst fans. And they talk about it in Reddit. Like, you come up in Reddit a lot.
Oh,
I do.
As the dude who looked like he was lost. The dude in the background who looked like he was lost on stage.
SK will stand on any stage, on any battle, regardless of what's going on, with his mouth completely agape. So, like,
it's
it
bad.
doesn't matter if it's, like, the craziest battle bars or if a guy's like, you smell bad. SK looks like he just heard, like, the wildest rap scheme he's
it's
ever
like
heard in
the
his life.
wow emoji. But
I feel
for
it.
30-minute periods at a time. Yeah, no, we went out to London on a whim, me and Anderson and our
Hell
buddy
yeah.
Dustin.
What?
And then we know a guy named T-Top, who Iron Mike also knows. And you guys may have met T-Top. Did you meet T-Top? I don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out T-Top. Anyways, he's on URL a lot. He's from Fuquay Arena, reps like Raleigh and Fuquay. But anyways, we went out there, and he actually got us up on stage and treated us pretty dope just for traveling that far.
Yeah.
But then, of course, I realized after the fact, like, I was standing on stage with, like, my mouth open in amazement the whole time.
You're like a
I feel you,
celebrity.
man.
And it's always
wild.
funny to watch, like, the takes, like, people, like, theorizing on what was up with you.
Yeah.
Because people are
Right.
it's like,
There's
oh, yeah, he was on
theories.
those drugs. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm like, dude, I was dehydrated. Just trying to stay alive. Oh, man. It's tough out there.
Damn, you got whole theories on you. That's lit.
It's cool.
They've got, like,
It's
URL
cool.
fan theories about SK the
That's a
Novelist.
sign of
It's
success.
crazy.
It's a sign of something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, one thing he can't really say is, like, he is one of few Caucasian people to be standing on those stages, so he really
That's very
stands
true.
out.
I feel
Yeah.
it.
And he looks like, literally, like, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a
that.
game
Yo,
of
with
that
Where's
hat,
Waldo.
Yeah. They do it. They just say it's just Waldo, though, because they found me.
Yeah.
And this is in London.
This is in London.
Oh,
yeah.
man, that's lit. How was London?
It was cool. It was a
Yeah.
couple years ago at this point, but it
Okay.
was fun. Yeah, we just went out there just for that event, but we ended up staying for like a whole week. Expedia.com. Is that a plug? I probably
Hashtag
shouldn't
not a
plug it in.
sponsor. No, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
Did you eat jelly deals out there?
No, I don't
No?
think so.
You eat jelly
no.
deals?
No, we had Burger King. That
or,
was
or a toast sandwich?
we had a Burger King next to our hotel.
Oh, that's wild.
It is weird. Yeah, it didn't feel like
Can't
a
get
very-
away from it.
It's not a very London thing to do. But I got in one of them red telephone things. Of course, took a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Big Ben was under construction, so I
Those-
couldn't take a really like
Oh, damn.
stereotypical photo of
Yeah.
a peace sign or anything.
So
But,
they still have phone booths in the UK?
yeah, I don't know if people use it.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I got in there.
Didn't they
too.
get rid of them in New York?
Yeah,
don't
I think
know.
so,
they're
yeah.
gone. They're all gone.
Did they have the red ones? Like just like the
No.
London ones? or something?
Bro, what do you think New York is?
I thought maybe they had the same phone booth guy. I don't know.
Phone booths are just
The
a
one
wonder of
phone
the
booth
past
guy
now.
who built
Nah,
phone
New
booths
York,
for
they were
everybody.
they were like purely made out of glass, and they were like covered in like paint marker
Oh.
graffiti and like crackheads taking a nap. That's
Yeah. Shelter.
yeah, thanks.
So y'all talk a lot about the local hip hop scene. I was wondering if y'all could kind of describe to me what the Triangle music scene is like and kind of how it has evolved over time.
Man,
That's you, man.
that's me.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm an old guy.
Yeah,
That's
y'all-
the resident. That's my
Tell us
role in
about
the
the
podcast.
beginning.
I'm the resident old guy that's seen it all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The music scene is like it's evolved like really well since I started working in the scene. I started, you know, doing shows and being around the scene like 2012 when I first got out of the Army, and you know, just it used to be a thing where like you could be really dope and just absolutely no one gave a damn.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I
and
feel
they had a lot of people like that,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was like big. Little brother, big. I always
Big brother.
No, that's
little
like, no.
brother. Little brother was like, you know, this monolith in the Triangle area, and like if you weren't like down with like Ninth Wonder and the people he works with, then you weren't gonna get any kind of shine or any kind of shows or anything. And like over the past like 10 years, that's really evolved a lot, and to the point where like, you know, got so many different kinds of sounds. You know, it's not just
honestly.
people doing boom bap. It's not just people
Mhm.
doing soul beats.
Mhm.
Like you got people making trap. You got people making alt rap. You got people making metal rap, metal trap.
It's so dope.
All kinds of stuff. So it's really been awesome to watch and be a part of. You know,
honestly, yeah.
I feel like we can take a little bit of credit for helping foster that. You know,
Yeah, man. Come on, flex on them right quick.
Like a little dirt off your shoulders.
No, I had a funny Charles. I gotta thank Charles for like kind of expanding my view of the local rap scene. At first, when I got here, a lot of what I was going through was the cipher at NC State, which obviously like is a huge part of like Raleigh hip hop, of course. But that was like most of my exposure. So it's like at the time, it's like, how's the scene going lately? I'm like, yeah, the cipher's been going pretty well, or whatever. But Charles is like, maybe you should come to some shows or something.
Yeah. So that's what I'm telling people now.
Yeah. So I got a pretty similar take to Charles, I guess. Him and I went to so many shows throughout the years, and I think a lot of the people that WKNC put on, even with Double Barrel, was a reflection of some of the more important people in the scene that were making moves. I feel like to get a WKNC look at Double Barrel was like a big honor,
Yeah,
so,
I feel it.
Just like Charles said, it's cool to see a lot more sounds than just what the boom bap soul sample stuff, which is still obviously dope, but it's cool to see a lot of different styles now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like we're starting to develop like a punk hip hop scene out here too. I've talked to a lot of rappers now that kind of describe their music as such, and I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah, you guys got None playing at Double Barrel this year.
Yeah, you saw?
She's the crossbone sis.
Yeah, I already know.
That's crazy. We're really proud of her for that. And we appreciate you guys giving her that look.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know. Like, she didn't even tell us. I just saw the flyer. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm finna interview her soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that too. And we got Elijah Rosario headlining as well. So getting local hip hop people out there.
I feel like that's something you wouldn't have seen in like 2012 is like a rap artist in the middle of like a rock or a punk bill.
Yeah,
which is the way None is. Like None is like all whereas like leather and black leather and chains. And,
she turns up on stage.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw a Juice Lord show and that was lit.
Yeah, she's like our little Rico Nasty.
Yeah,
so she's her own
Love
thing.
The
like, she's not Rico at all. But
facts. I feel that.
Yeah.
What would you say it takes to become a successful local artist? What does success even look like to local artists?
Cosmo, you want to?
Yeah.
Wait.
Give a
I'm the least. I have no authoritative figure. Yeah.
We're diving deep today.
Yeah. No, SK, talk about it.
A successful local artist. I mean, definitely being. Well, I guess there's successful, and then there's like the people that I think you'll get along with and grow within your own network.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think being like humble and open-minded and showing out for other people's shows and just kind of, having a team for sure seems like the biggest piece of it. Like Juice Lord is a great example, for instance, having Iron Mike, having Jovi, like shout out all the Crossbones.
He's a perfect example.
It's just a perfect example of just how that takes you to the next level, and I've seen that in the 3 or 4 years, or more than that I've known Juice Lord, but been just following him closely as an artist. It's, that's a key part of the elevation. So I'd say having a team is probably the biggest thing. I mean, what would you probably agree with that, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, not to, like, my crew is the best crew. But,
I mean,
but no, I mean, a lot goes in that. And also shout outs to Dr. Beckman, because a lot of his lessons, Juice and I, like, that's a lot of that we do is by design.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is, us throwing ideas back and forth, and the stuff that I learned here, was big into that. And I think, like, that's, like, there's so many different versions of success now in music.
Exactly.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be a signed artist. You don't have to be on Billboard 100. There's artists that honestly, like make $500,000 a year just off of Patreon, and like none of us know who they are, but they've got their loyal fans that take care of it. So I think that's really what it is. Like, and you're seeing that. I've been seeing that, like more of a business mind be like, like the front of the culture around here recently, which makes me happy, because like that, like as someone who I work in marketing professionally, and I went to school for public relations and entrepreneurship. I was always like, that's one thing that was missing a while ago, was like a lot of people just being good at their art and really not anything Like they just didn't have the business part to connect
That's exactly what Dr. B be preaching too.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times, like,
so I was gonna say, where do you think that came from? Like, why do you think that shift happened? Do you think?
I think just because of like the accessibility of like social media and like information about marketing. Like in the past, like I'd say, like even in the past like couple of years, like you have people that you can take free Google certifications on SEO and Google Analytics and all that kind of stuff. That stuff didn't exist like a couple of years ago. It's like a lot of people, I'd talk to people about it, and like, they have like a blank face, like it's like information overload. And I think with a lot of creative people are the types of people that kind of need to come to something on their own. You can't really you can't really force them to look at stuff. I used to have this dream of being like the premier like marketing, like arts marketing like person, like have like a firm in the city. And it was like I had to come to the realization that there's like no money in that because like everyone on a local level is just kind of like still trying to figure it out, and you can't like force them to like they kind of just see it for themselves. Yeah. So the fact that people are like starting to see it for themselves and like actually going out there and doing their due diligence to figure out how to create something for themselves, like I'm seeing that makes me a lot. God, I can't talk. It makes me really happy to see people doing that and seeing that shift. And I think we're going to see a lot more successful, like maybe not mainstream, but close to mainstream known artists coming out of here in the next
only
few
matter
years.
of time.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. And I think another important piece of that is not only building a team, but building a community around your work too.
For sure.
Yeah, the community can carry it a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get that from people. Like when you walk into the venue, you feel like you're a part of that person's like fan base.
I mean, it's culture at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's a big like either you have it or you don't.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah,
So.
I feel that.
It's really bringing it back to the essence, like that's what hip hop was in the Bronx when it started. Like it was just neighborhoods and crews of friends and stuff, like supporting each other, Yeah,
and exactly.
I think Raleigh and Durham, like the Triangle area is like unique in the sense that we don't have like huge entities that like control everything. Like in New York City, in New York City, like you can't do what you do. You there's no way you'd be able to do what you do down here in New York City. Not even just saturation, just like corporate interest and people who make a bunch of money off of booking people, not really having to take a chance on some indie dudes who don't really have a following yet and need a place. So
I feel that. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit easier to stand out here versus like those larger markets, the major cities.
I will say though, like, and me and Juice talked about this a lot. Yeah. It's like you still have to fight for every follower in North Carolina.
Yeah, no doubt.
So like in New York, like if you're from like a project, like if you're from like Edenwald projects or whatever, and like people in Edenwald projects are really rocking with you. Like you can have the whole like age range from like 16 to like 30 something. Yeah. Pack out a whole club in New York, right? And you can have like your monthly listens will look crazy on Spotify, but like no one cares about you outside of it. In North Carolina, like I feel like if you amass like 500 followers in North Carolina, like the return on investment is like so much higher because like you really had to fight for those people and they rock with you, like they really rock with you, and they'll drive like 30 miles to go see you.
I feel that.
So
yeah, it's kind of the same way in Virginia too. I'm from Virginia Beach actually. And I'm always trying to put my homies on from out there too. Nice. But we got some talent out there, and it was like that in the beginning though. Like when I left for the Army, like there wasn't a whole lot of support in the community, and it was really tough. There was a lot of hating going on out there. I'm not gonna lie, but luckily, people were starting to show a lot more love and really starting to come together. And I think that's just a huge part of it. Yeah, honestly,
Asheville's kind of funny in that way too.
Yeah, is it? Asheville is cool.
It's nothing crazy.
Asheville goat though, right?
I guess so. That's what they say. I don't know who they is. Probably me. But yeah.
They who recorded a whole song about it.
That's true. Yeah. I did a couple of those. That's right. Yeah. No, but there's a lot of that. I feel like the most successful people in the Asheville scene, or at least looked at in that successful kind of light, definitely the business minded up front, but taking it beyond just your city. I don't know. I know a lot of people in Asheville that kind of keep it there, you know, and they probably could pack out a show most times that they do a show there, but it's almost like, where are you taking it? Are you taking it the next?
Yeah.
And I was actually pretty I found it cool. I didn't realize I'd planned this or realize till after the fact, but being able to build something out here in Raleigh with a lot of folks, I was able to kind of bridge the gap between, because a lot of folks.
So what you to do with North Carolina and Virginia?
Yeah, well, we should. Yeah, well, and it's funny, they looked at it like just they didn't really know how to get into Asheville over there. Like, like they just didn't know anybody out that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Or how to plan. So I brought a few. Yeah, my favorite one was G Amazawa. Shout out G.
Hell yeah,
that was such a cool opportunity.
OG,
but
Durham OG.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's an important thing that I realized from moving away from Asheville is like just building and keeping the steps moving forward, and kind of expanding. So, but
that's interesting that you talk about how people kind of lock themselves in their city. Because I was gonna ask actually, when should artists move from their home base? Like, I see a lot of artists that like try to go to New York or LA to bring their career to another level, and I feel like sometimes that might not be the most productive, or maybe it's just too early.
I don't know. I always think of J. Cole didn't he go up to New York to give Jay-Z his CD or something?
But that was like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like it was a lot different back then.
J. Cole's old, man. J. Cole's old like me, bro.
That CD definitely went in the trash. I'm pretty sure he acknowledges that. Like that, he said that's not why he got signed.
Honestly, like at this point, you don't really need to be in any specific place to really make it. I don't think.
Exactly.
And obviously this isn't from experience, but you have the internet, you have social media, you can get a fan base from anywhere. And if what you're doing is unique enough and you're, business savvy enough about it, like we were talking about, you don't need to be in like LA or New York or something like that to make your
I guess it builds off of, somebody may have said it earlier, just what success it looks like to you. If success is going and packing out a venue up the road, then it might take different formulation, obviously, than just getting a lot of streams monthly. Because I know a guy who makes $500 a month off of his streams, and he did his first show in Raleigh in like 3 years last. You know what I'm saying? I'm shouting.
But you put money out there.
I did.
I'm pretty sure that
I doxed him.
I did not. Yeah, I did not use his name, but you ad-libbed it. So but no, it just showed me it's like, oh wow, there's just different versions of.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like I went to a session at South by a couple of years ago, and like that I forgot who. I think it was like an executive at Sony or something like that. Was saying like, if you're an indie artist, don't leave your hometown.
Yeah.
Like don't come to LA. Don't come to New York. We don't want you here because because there's like so many people, like, you can do much more. You can do much more work where you're from.
Exactly.
Than getting out to LA where like a bunch of people are trying to make it.
Yeah.
And you're not even from there. So like, what are you going to rap about in a city that you're not even from?
Unless you already have a following there. Like if you can look at your stats on YouTube or
that's what he was saying. It's like when the numbers are where they're supposed to be, like you'll be able to go out to LA and New York anyway to do business. Like not to just be out there like trying to
wandering around,
work a server job while trying to be a rapper.
For real.
Those pay for plays ain't gonna pay themselves.
I also think at this point, just on a non-music level, so many people are moving out of New York and out of California. Period.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's not gonna. Those are not gonna be like the massive hubs that they are for anything that they are right now. Right? You're gonna see other cities that are expanding rapidly, like Raleigh, Durham.
Mm-hmm.
And also, just the same point Charles makes, I feel like if you can't conquer your own city, how are you going to go?
You're going to conquer LA if you can't.
The people in my city who know me don't like my music. They won't even pretend to like my music, but I'm sure if I go to another city.
Right. I think people do it because there's this idea that you're going to like go to, LA or New York and you're going to meet the like exec that's going to be like, "Oh my god,
the industry
you're
people,
undiscovered talent. Like we need to put you on right now." And I'm sure it happens, but anymore
the odds aren't in your favor. Honestly.
I actually have a friend who he moves around in a lot of well-off circles in the music industry in New York, and he's part investor in the studio where A Boogie with the Hoodie recorded his first album and stuff, and he works with a lot of venues. He's a shaker, and I was talking to him, like I figured like, oh my god, like this is perfect. And I was talking to him, was like sending him stuff about juice and stuff, and he's like, yo, like you guys are dope as hell, but like honestly, like it's not even worth playing up here anymore because when it comes to venues, like all the labels like buy out venues.
Damn,
like it's all about private parties and stuff up there. So it's like unless you got backing, like you're just kind of like pedaling backwards. You know,
like an uphill battle.
Like the best you can end up being is like, you know, you can work in the writers room at a label. Actually, King Mez came up like that.
Okay, but
like that's like a serious like 1 in 8 million, 8 billion chance of that actually working. Like he got like, you know, King Mez is awesome, great dude too, but you know he got seriously lucky.
Yeah, so. It is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. And Dr. Beckman preaches art infrastructure too. The venues are huge and propagating the music scene out here and everywhere, of course. But
I'm actually worried about the venue scene here, though.
Yeah, especially like with King's closing. Like that's
King's
sad.
closing.
I've heard a lot of stories.
Is Poorhouse now, and you know Adam's the man. He's doing an amazing job at keeping everybody booked. But it's only just one venue. Like
that's true.
It's tough. You know, I might have to put that veteran small business loan money up and
for real. Honestly, though,
I dare you to open a venue. I dare you. No, I'm running into the same thing in Asheville too. Like I had keys to like 3 different venues.
For real.
Not literal keys, but yeah. But they all closed.
Come down a little bit.
Okay, I begged a guy through an email like multiple times. No, but I could get like probably 2 or 3 different venues that I had good relationships with, and all 3 of them are gone.
Rip.
So
R.I.P.
So when I go there, it's like starting from scratch.
Yeah,
like, what the heck do I do out here? I don't know.
Yeah, pandemic been beating us artists up.
Yeah. Facts. R.I.P. to my residency. I missed that so much.
Yeah. That was fun.
I wish I could have witnessed
it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You used to just come in the booth and just look awkward and free drinks.
It was cool,
feel awkward.
I was in the booth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They'd be like, hey, tell him to play, blah, blah, blah. I was like your middleman. Yo, she wants to hear.
The white girls, it's crazy because I remember like seeing like the... You got that like nerdy white guy appeal, like that safe white guy appeal. So like I remember like girls looking up at you like wait, he's got a girlfriend.
They had that look.
Yeah,
dang man.
I pointed them out to you, but
I'm so awkward.
You were called for at the time.
Got you. Yeah.
You were like, oh no, I can't. Yeah. I can't do that.
They were just being friendly.
No, honestly, I relate.
I feel like if you ever got famous, like you'd like be the last person to get famous and have like groupies that you actually do anything with.
Dude, I think I'm too awkward to be famous. I can't do it, man.
Hey, awkward is the new famous.
Yeah,
that's what we're going with.
It's true. That's true. Shout out Jack Harlow.
I don't know who famous person.
Yeah, I don't know who to shout out for that.
Don't do drugs. You're not a womanizer.
I just watched Seinfeld.
Yeah. Hey, that's relatable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Do you feel that in our Very Wack brand? We go for that 90s sitcom feel. You get that in the intro? Ben was doing like a 90s sitcom type beat.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of where it came from.
I can't say that came to mind, but I'm not the most well read with my 90s sitcoms either. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
Fails, guys. Podcast over.
I didn't realize my opinion was
the end
that
of the Very Wack
show. So I want to help the listeners just get to know y'all better. Ask y'all a few personal questions to get to know you better. First of all, how would y'all describe your senses of fashion? Y'all had the Ugly brand on your podcast recently.
We did.
Local designer, has some real fly
Shout out
products.
Gerald.
Well, D-Rock, you can sit out for this one.
I have absolutely no sense of fashion. My sense of fashion is lack of sense of fashion. Is that I'll go I once went to every club in Las Olas, South Florida, in basketball shorts and a YMCA t-shirt. One of them almost didn't let me in. One of them almost didn't let me
I'm
in.
surprised.
That's how they are in
I
Raleigh.
thought
They
it
tried
was
to
going to
stop
be.
me, but
I
I
thought it was
was
going to
with
be
too
the
many
other way
people.
around. I thought it was going to be one of them almost did let you in, and everyone else is like, no.
D-Rock's
Nah,
like
look
the
at this guy.
anti-fashion.
Yeah.
When Gerald was on the show, the plan was like we were gonna do like, so I had this plan because I do photography. Like I was gonna do like a shoot concept for every episode. And D-Rock's lack of fashion actually killed that idea because Ugly was gonna be up there, and we were gonna do like a drip battle.
Yeah, okay.
Like shoot a drip battle.
That's
and
tough.
D-Rock showed up with like some dusty ass Adidas on and some basketball shorts.
Wait, did I?
And a t-shirt, a YMCA t-shirt,
No,
or a Citrix t-shirt.
Is this a fabricated story?
This
I
is
feel
not-
like that was the
this is
one day that I
100%
wore.
this is
Didn't I wear my
100%
Yeezys
what
that
happened.
day?
You might have worn your Yeezys,
But
but that
Maybe
was
I wore
it.
basketball shorts with these.
Bro, you're wearing sweatpants and a sweater right now.
You got the Yeezys made up for it
It's
all.
happening right now. You're still cool.
It's the very Wack show, though. So, I mean,
It's
someone's got to pull up.
Someone's got to
A
be
little
whacked.
whack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody's
In
gotta
each
keep it
category,
authentic.
someone's got to be whacked.
Yeah,
So,
I
exactly.
see Charles pushing P right now.
you know,
Pushing
I got
P.
the polo. I got the
Keeping
Ralph.
it
I'm a
peace.
low head.
He's
You know, I'm a
heard the
little bit of a
word on
low
the
head.
I
streets.
feel it. I feel it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, streetwear is a big thing for me, being from New York.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we're kind of like the originators of that.
Facts.
I'm never too old. I don't know. I'm probably gonna be like in my 50s still rocking streetwear. So.
I feel it. I feel it, honestly.
I just wear black hoodies and black pants. And then
Yeah, I feel like you have the same
All about-
tracksuit on
I-
every day,
yeah,
even though it's
it's
not a
good.
tracksuit.
it's just it's neutral. I don't know. Goes good with depression and food stains.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm sorry. I was just kidding. No, but I like the all black fit because then you throw on some crazy shoes, it goes with it, you know?
Exactly.
The accent's the most important piece.
It's
which
too
is the
easy.
sneakers, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like Cosmo has like the most wild card
Yeah.
style of us all, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, recently I've been doing a lot of like, corporate chic because I have like a front-facing office job now, so I have to like look like
Yeah.
professional, but like kind of cool.
I
So
feel it.
Nah,
But-
when you pull up to the pod, like you never know. Like Cosmo could be the guy like fronting you a key of Coke, or he could run like a chain of like gas stations.
yeah.
In
yeah.
Daytona Beach.
Isn't
you
that
never
the same
know. Like,
guy?
it's just like-
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Wait, who's your gas station?
The plug, for real. Gas is getting expensive.
Oh man.
That's what's up. Yeah, I always try to wear a lot of local brands. Been really
Yeah,
big
sure.
on the entire local art scene.
You know, that's another thing. Like that's like we talked about it when Gerald was up there. Like hip hop, like fashion is such a big part of hip
Yeah,
hop.
hand in hand.
And Virgil Abloh,
Mhm.
rest in peace. Like started
R.I.P.
off as
Yeah,
like
yeah.
kind
Big
of
facts.
like a rapper of fashion design. You know,
Honestly, yeah.
it's awesome.
Icon.
Shout outs to Paradiso too. That's our boy from
Oh,
Crossbones.
yes, sir.
Like, he entrepreneurship.
He got that fire
Yeah,
for real.
facts.
So yeah. Also, all right, Mike, you mentioned that you were in the Army. I was as well. I always thought that was a cool part of your story, just because I could relate to it so well. And then you went into WKNC, and you're in the Arts Entrepreneurship Program. So yeah, I was really excited to see all
A
that.
lot of shit.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to like calm down and like kind of take it down. But when I got out of the Army, like from 2012 to like 2018, like I was like doing everything I could possibly try to do.
I feel it.
You know, I
Yeah,
was
That's where I'm at right now.
there was a situation when I was in the Army that was like pretty scary.
Yeah.
And I was telling myself in the middle of it that all right, if I get out of here in one piece, I'm gonna do like every possible thing that I ever like wanted to do.
Yeah. Big
And like
facts.
music was a big part of that. So I really, WKNC gave me the ability to like do a lot of that stuff.
Facts.
So,
Yeah. You
yeah.
definitely paved the way.
Thanks,
You created the local rap lunch,
Yes,
right?
I did.
Yeah. Still running it.
That's awesome. I love that, man. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you guys do that. So I appreciate it.
Local rap lunch was really important. I remember I took over for one episode and like I had like so many more listeners than I do on my regular shit. I was like, this is a really good time slot. I
Yeah.
wasn't being funny. I was
The
sorry,
listener,
sorry.
no,
I was
exactly.
like,
Like the listener meter would like jump up. for
it's
it, man.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lit.
And we got to like talk about some really cool stuff during that during that time. Like
Right.
I was on local rap lunch when Trump got elected.
Oh boy.
And like the feeling on campus. I remember walking through campus to get to the show, and just like it looked like a ghost town.
Oh, no.
And it was one like bag frat dude walking around with an American flag blazer on.
Yeah, I bet.
And I was just
Really?
I was like, man,
blazer?
if I didn't have to be at my radio show, I would totally be on your ass right now. But then like I did the show, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna like do the regular format. I'm just gonna play a bunch of angry ass rap music. So I played some local angry rap music, but I played
I'd be on
like
that too.
Dr. Dre, like old school Dr. Dre stuff, Kendrick, and like our lines were like lighting up, like with people just calling to like talk about how upset they were and just like like how messed up inside they were feeling. Like it felt good to like be on the air and like do that for people.
Oh, you mean like they weren't complaining?
No, they
Okay.
were calling up to like just like talk about how pissed off they were that Trump got elected. Because I was talking wholesale
Okay.
ished. Like the whole episode.
Yeah.
So like people were hitting me up like, yeah, man,
That's what's up.
some bull.
Yeah.
I had people from
Therapy.
the prison calling up like, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to take that time slot. I had class during that time, but yeah, I try to do the same vibe. I just run my local sets, but I do my interviews separately. But yeah, I feel that. Just trying to get it out there.
Yeah, we gotta keep the being champions of the local scene, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I gotta find someone to take
When
over.
I got
after
here,
me.
like it was like there was like no one pushing hip hop.
Yeah, it was kind of the same when I got here too. We just didn't have a lot of hip hop DJs, and of course we were like in the lockdown, so everything kind of slowed down too. But yeah. So to my next question, actually, I want to ask y'all, what is the Music Industry Club, or I guess it was known as Wolf Tracks?
Wolf Track.
Because I don't think that exists anymore.
Nah, R.I.P.
Yeah, I was looking.
R.I.P. Thanks to this
Hold
guy.
up. Whoa.
Was it me?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The
Nah.
second SK got involved is when the club did effectively go downhill. I don't know. I'm not saying there's a correlation.
To get involved is putting it lightly. You guys signed me as
Oh.
your artist.
Hey, listen.
Not saying
I
much.
will say this though. I will say this. Even though Wolf Tracks was short lived, pretty much lasted as long as I was at NC State. The people, the alumni from Wolf Tracks that were like serious musicians are actually doing great things. So I am proud
Oh,
of
yeah.
everybody. So like Crystals, the EDM DJ, he's got like I don't know, like over 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify now,
Oh,
and
that's
like
tough.
SK's Asheville goat.
Goat.
So I mean basically like I started it with another guy, Grisha.
Yeah.
We came up with actually I came up with the idea because I went to South by Southwest in 2015. It was my first time, got a press pass, and
Oh, yeah.
I was like, my mind was blown. Like I'd never seen anything like that. And I was just like, this is crazy. And there were like schools that had like there were all kinds of like colleges that had like music industry clubs or like school run radio stations, school run record labels.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that
That's
concept of like a school run record label was really cool.
Honestly.
So I wanted to bring that back. So the professor I was taking, actually there was a music industry class, and I was taking it with his name was Dr. Reali, and he had like a bunch of credentials. He had worked with like a lot of cool people in the music industry. So I had talked to him about like wanting to start something like that. So he helped me like kind of like come up with the structure of it. And Grisha was in the class with me. Grisha was a interesting dude, man. He's from Kazakhstan. He's from Kazakhstan or was Uzbekistan, one of the stands.
One of the
wild.
stands. I don't remember.
And he had a very thick accent.
Yeah.
But he rapped.
Okay.
And refused to rap. His native tongue was Russian.
Okay.
Refused to rap in Russian. Wanted to
Word.
rap in very broken English, but he worked really hard, and he had like
That's tough.
we gotta like to give Grisha a lot of crap, but like he had a very good business mindset.
Okay.
And he he helped get it together. If it wasn't for him, we would actually he did a lot of like the running around to get all the papers signed and everything, and like get our like we got like corporate level like logo design and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like,
He got a lot of the money too, right? He got a lot of. He was able to talk to the
as much.
university to get
We
word.
got like the most amount of money for funding.
He's making it shake.
Yeah, no, he was making it shake, man. Annoying as hell, but he made it shake.
Sometimes you gotta be, right?
But yeah, so like that, like, you know, we had a lot of good momentum. Like we actually were doing a lot of cool stuff with Wolf Tracks.
Right.
And I came up with, through my travels to Austin for South by, like I made a lot of connections with like all the major, like Warner, Sony, and what's the other one?
Universal.
Universal. They always have like a college rep that works at most colleges, and they I didn't apply to those jobs, but they had me in touch with the same people that those people would be in touch with. So we were able to get like we had access to book those people at the university and like at like tailgates and stuff like that.
Yo.
But the problem was UAB friggin' hated us because we were like taking their shine. And so anytime we try to do something, like they'd be like, "Oh, well, they're trying to make money doing," and like, yeah, like they tried to treat it like it was like a student-run business and not an organization. Yeah. So like we ran into something where
drama.
Yeah, a lot of drama. We had T Grizzly. He was gonna do a what do you call it? Tailgate.
Homecoming?
Yeah, he's gonna do a tailgate with us.
That was a tailgate.
Oh, okay.
He was gonna do it. Yeah, he's gonna do a tailgate with us, and we just had to pay for like something. Like it wasn't really like a full booking fee, but like we just had to pay for like a hotel or something, and like we weren't allowed to use that money for that.
Oh,
and
man.
they just came up like every time they just moved the goalposts on us. Every time we were about to do something lit, we had I had Lil Xan's, like, I mean Lil Xan, but like but still like the flex to get Lil Xan to the campus would have been crazy. Like we were in contact with his managers and stuff, and it was just like every time we were trying to do something, they like the school would just move the goalposts on us.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those things where like
did some cool things though.
But we did do a lot.
Interviewed
of cool
Sci-Hi. That was through Wolf Tracks.
We
right?
did. We did get Sci-Hi the Prince, who's Kanye. If anyone who's listening, like that's Kanye's songwriter basically. Yeah. That was the one. That was one of the one cool lit thing that the school didn't try to throw a monkey wrench in.
That was fire.
Yeah,
that's one of my
cool.
favorite memories. Is like that whole interview, like just being
that's
that
dope.
close and being able to talk with it. I mean, obviously you did the interview, but just being able to watch it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for bringing me. I got really caught up in the negative parts, but that was really
you interviewed him, right?
Me off.
You interviewed, and you did a really good job. That was really, two funny side notes during that interview. Right before everything, Charles tells everybody, was like, okay, so the one thing you cannot do not ask him to listen to your music.
Yeah, his manager asked me to his manager said that. Literally just finished telling me that on the phone.
Yeah, and he still told Charles said it in the most business-like, like this is it, right? There's no exceptions. Like right in the middle. Like Sci-Hi, I'm pretty sure was like between saying things, and this guy's like raises his hand. He's like, yes, and he was like, hey man. I got this song. No. I'd really like to come play for you. And Sai was like, you want to play it for me right now? And he's like, yeah, I'll come up and I could just play it on the thing. And he's like, no, man.
That was his moment.
And everybody was it was so embarrassing because there wasn't that many people live there. It was like maybe 15 people watching that.
Yeah.
And we were just all like oh my God.
It was like a collective sigh of like, that rapper is like a real D-bag too.
Is he? I don't even remember who it was. It was SK the Novelist.
It was
that's funny. That kid grew up to be SK the Novelist. Yeah.
But not like so. Yeah, we like so like the basically like with all the crazy like annoying like admin stuff that the school was pulling, like we kind of like focused inward on just like developing our like fellow students that made music and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
that's cool.
We basically it was like a straight direct line of like Beckman's class to like after school, like honestly what I wanted to do was like put Beckman's curriculum into practice,
right? Man,
in a tangible way.
I'd love to hear that.
But when I graduated, like I was running it like a 30-year-old man, and like if the kids who were left over when I graduated were like they're young, like so like they weren't doing it the same way, and like they were always like, how do you keep this together? And I was like, because I'm I'm not sleeping. That's how. So I just basically it was like in 2017 when Juice and I started working together, and I was like pretty much like if I'm gonna work with Juice, I'm gonna need to give that my full energy. So I talked to the people that were left at Wolf Tracks and was like, hey, if you guys want to keep doing this, like I've got you guys need to help anytime, I've got you, but if not,
Yeah.
don't keep on trying to do it. So
That's dope.
So RIP to that. But a lot of good things
For real.
happened.
I would have been in there.
I mean,
I wish
3
I
out
was
of the
still
4 of
around.
us are all from Wolf Track.
I mean, I
So-
met Charles through Wolf Tracks, like, because I think that was
Yeah.
right around when Wolf Tracks started. I wasn't like one of the founding people in it, but I heard about it early on. Might have been from Beckman.
Yeah, you just used to come and troll everybody.
Yeah.
I really didn't like you at first. I was
Shout
like,
out
what is it?
Beckman, man.
I
You gotta
couldn't
say
figure it
again.
out because I was like, is he trying to
Always
like
putting
make
people
fun
on
of
it.
the club? Like, is he
Yeah, like I said, I'm a malicious troll. I'm definitely malicious. Yeah, fun. So like a lot of people. Now that I'm thinking, so many people I met through that club. Anderson Burris now.
I think you met me, right?
Infamous.
Or do we have
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get to that. It's one of the less interesting
Best
parts of the
for
story.
last. No, we're not.
So Anderson Burris, me and him are cool now, but for the same reason Charles hated me, Anderson hated me too, because I would always be trolling him online, talking about, this song is trash, blah 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 blah.
Oh, man.
But I met Charles, I met Anderson, and we have long-lasting relationships now. I met SK. Well, the crazy thing about how I met SK is somebody in the music industry club played his music for me, and it was legitimately the first time I listened to anybody's music in that club that I was actually like, this is good. This is like really good music. This has like potential. I'd like to think I have a good ear for that sort of thing, right? So I immediately was just like, yo, who is this guy? Who's this guy? I found him on SoundCloud. Somebody gave me his number, and I texted him and I told him that. And then the funny thing is, I said, you sound just like us. Like you're gonna have no clue who this guy is because it's a really underground rapper. It's like Homeboy Sandman, and he was like, I love Homeboy Sandman. That's my favorite. And keep in mind, Homeboy
we just
Sandman
become
probably
best
has
friends?
like 20,000 monthly listeners. So, yeah, I mean, I met a lot of people in that club, in the school in general, period. We all met through NC State,
Yeah.
I met Ben in entrepreneurship class, Cosmo. I introduced
That's
him to
what's
SK, their producer, rapper,
That's dope.
buddies now. Now every song they drop, I should get 20% of it. We'll talk about the details after this, but yeah, a lot of relationships built.
Lawyer's actually in the lobby right now.
I see what this was.
Man, I could go another hour with y'all, but we gotta start closing out. I do want to ask y'all one more question.
It's a common
I
thing
still
we
have
run
a
into.
bunch. Yeah, honestly, like, please, if y'all have time, invite me. I can have a drink with y'all on your
Now
podcast.
that you asked, we won't invite you now.
I can talk to y'all uncensored though. That's the thing.
That is true. That is true.
I'm over here trying to be polite for the FCC. But let me ask y'all one fun question. I like to ask all artists just because it kind of gives you a perspective into their lives. How many hours of sleep do y'all get a night? Since Iron Mike was talking about how he didn't get sleep in college.
Now I'm a straight up old man.
Yeah.
I take my 8 hours.
I feel
and I
it.
love it.
I feel it.
You know what I mean? I wake up at 5 like a really old man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Start making beats and drinking coffee, and then log on and work from home. Like,
Hell yeah.
I go to sleep embarrassingly late throughout the week, so probably like 1 a.m. and then I get up at like 8 o'clock, so like maybe
Alright.
6 to 7 hours. But then on
Not
the
bad.
weekend, I sleep embarrassingly long, like 10 to 11 hours. So
But
I make up to catch up.
and
on
then
the back
post
end.
something
Yeah.
long on Facebook about why he can't figure out why he's depressed.
Facts. Yeah. Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
But it's
I
not
feel
like
I feel it.
Bang!
I love you, man.
I love you too,
You my bro.
Whole lot of love.
But it's not like he's like working super hard into the evening either. It's like
oh
you
my
know,
God.
you would
Double
think
time.
maybe he's like staying up until 1, like writing all his new
Working
tracks
hard.
and stuff. But it's like like watching like repeat battles on URL from like 7 years ago that he's already seen 10 times.
The crazy thing is, when I used to
That's
live
crazy.
with SK, he would like say like it would be 2
You guys
in
are
the
just
morning.
really like turning this question
And he
into
would-
an SK roast
Wow.
fest,
He
bro.
would-
Yeah.
No, it's just funny. He would post like some crazy, profound Facebook post, whatever it is, like something about life, something about girls, something about music, and then you go in his room and he's sitting like with his legs up, like a little schoolgirl, just on his phone, posting on Facebook with a battle going on his MacBook. Like it does not look at all like he just wrote this crazy Facebook post, trying to get you to think about what you're doing in life.
Yeah.
It's alternative
I love
intelligence.
it. I love
you know?
it. No,
Alternative
Alternative
depth.
yeah.
Unexpected. That's funny.
What about you, Cosmo?
Yeah, I'm probably in the same camp as SK and for equally as not good
Dumb
reasons.
reasons?
Yeah, yeah. you know.
Go ahead, D-Rock. Tell the stories of you coming out at 8 in the morning. Ben was still playing League
Yeah.
of Legends.
Oh,
Well,
that's
well,
not true.
Well, it was not League of Legends, okay? It was Apex Legends.
Oh, my
But yeah, absolutely. There was definitely days where, like, when I had just started working, like, my 9 to 5, I would, like, go to sleep, wake up, like go to sleep. Cosmo is playing video games. I wake up. He's still playing video games.
Yeah.
I'm on my way to work.
I don't think I ever pulled an all night. I might have gone to bed and then woke up way too early to play more games. But I don't think I ever pulled an all nighter.
I can't speak on that. I was asleep. I can't.
Which
speak
one's
on
worse?
That.
I'm acting like an adult, you know. Like,
But for me, I think it really varies for me. It could be like I like getting 8 hours of sleep, but there are days where like I'll get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep,
Yeah.
depending on what's going on, you know.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start closing things out. First of all, where can they find y'all on social media? Each of you, and the podcast.
At SK the Novelist and at the Very Wack Show is the right.
Yeah.
You might be able to find me possibly at Lord D-Rock on Instagram.
Yeah.
Possibly, if you're lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're so inclined, you can you can find me at Cosmo on Instagram or The Very Wack Show.
and of course, if you felt like it, you could follow at Iron Mike Slaps. That's right, just like that. And at Very Wax Show, of course.
Hell yeah, it's been a pleasure, y'all. I really appreciate you sharing your stories with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank
up.
you, man.
And like, I
already
want to
know.
just get it on recorded. I think the HS8s, nice.
Yeah,
clean.
This place
man.
is very hooked up since the last time I was here.
Hey, Jamie
Well,
did it
no.
right.
This is the last time I worked here.
And thank you to all the listeners tuning in out there. You can check out the interview I did with Juice Lord and other local artists at wknc.org/podcast and click on Off the Record. I am DJ Whippopatomus, and I was here with...
SK the Novelist.
Cosmo.
Lord D-Rock.
And your boy, DJ Iron Mike. We out of here.
You're listening to WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. And don't forget, we are stronger together, so show each other some love. Y'all be easy.
It's the love, baby. I don't know.
Sounded hard. About to go show people some love.
There's some love. Uptown. You know what I
Uptown
mean?
love, yeah.
I love you, nigga.
Okay, calm down, Diddy. Calm down, Diddy.